Round two. On the dice roll, we're going to play first. Alright, it's mulligan. You know, I would say I win the dice roll about 50% of the time. Isn't that weird? No. It does feel like I win the dice roll more often than 50%. I'll be honest. But it also feels like, I don't know. I have weird, like, debuffs. I feel like I have. Ooh, well, I can keep that. Sure. Although, I mean, it's not an ideal turn 2 draw, I guess. No, it's fine. It'll work. I guess, I mean, it doesn't make the best use of mana here, does it? That's alright. I'm going to play it here in the Guardian next turn. I mean, if I played the Guardian this turn, it would be better, because then if I draw a land, I can crack the clue. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So we're going to miss our land drop here. I could crack the clue instead, I guess. But that's alright. So another green-black Delirium deck. Interestingly. Alright, we're going to take it. Alright. So, 3 mana. I can attack with both, deal 3 to him, but then I'm just cracking the clue. I probably want to trade the Guardian for the Woodland Patrol, or at least try, so let's crack the clue. Alright, well, next turn I'll get the Outrider, so I guess that's good. I'll trade an Inspector for a Field Creeper at this point too, I guess. If he's got a trick, I'd much rather him use it here on my Guardian than on my Courageous Outrider. Okay, I mean, it's pretty brutal, but not even that brutal. He got rid of an Inspector and a Guardian. I mean, it's a little bit brutal, but it's actually not that terrible. It could be a lot worse. I think we actually go Outrider first because it can block both of those. Plus it gets us some much needed card advantage here. Ooh, get the Faithbearer Paladin too, which is actually a pretty nice human to find. So we bottomed a couple lands and a Jace's Scrutiny. So if we draw a land, we get the Paladin. If we don't draw a land, we get the Researcher. Either of those options seem good. Okay, Primal Druid, the least of our problems. So maybe he's looking to emerge here. Ooh, all right. So if I swing at the Outrider, he just blocks with Druid. It mightn't be, I think it's actually in our best interest to get a flyer on right now. I don't want to attack into the Druid right now, and Outrider is obviously holding down the fort well. I think if he had some sort of trick or removal, he would have played it there. So playing the Researcher does not make the best use of mana, but playing the Paladin doesn't really add to the board in a proactive way. Okay. Not overly concerned about that. We'll at least see if he's splashing a third color. He's not. Okay. So, who knows? Maybe we'll flip our Aberrant Researcher right away and start going to town. Alright, Nebelgast Herald, not bad. We could also play the Paladin now. It's not like his attacks are great. He is going to be able to swing with the Id of the Horde Swarm, but we're also slightly ahead on the race at the moment. Actually, I guess we just keep up the Herald so I can tap down the Id of the Horde Swarm. Continue those aerial beats. You know, Ariel from The Little Mermaid beats. All right. Tapping it of the Horde Swarm. No attacks. Dragoon, which can block our Researcher, but we can play Borrowed Grace, so it's okay. We can also just play Choking Restraints. That's not as good as playing Sleep Paralysis, I would say. So let's say I play Sleep Paralysis on the Dragoons. I swing for 5. It takes him to 8. He cracks back with everything. I can kill him the turn after that with Borrowed Grace. So let's say he swings with everything. That would let me block the patrol and take 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. I think I'm willing to do that. So let's cast the Sleep Paralysis on the Dragoon. He does have Aim High mana up, I guess, but let's just hope he doesn't have that. I mean, Aim High gets us pretty good anyway. So we attack for 5. Okay, so potentially kill him next turn with Borrowed Grace. Hopefully he just uses something that doesn't gain him life here, and Outrider. I mean, even if he deals with Outrider, he doesn't have enough to just kill us. He can deal a lot to us, but we're just kind of hoping he doesn't have anything, he doesn't gain life, or he taps out and can't block our flyers. Any of those options will lead us to victory. That's not a big deal because he doesn't have Delirium and I can block with my Outrider. So I guess we'll block the Vigilance guy here. Kind of want him to tap out here. No tap out. All right. Explorer. All right, well, we're going to go for the victory here. All right. Luckily got there. Still a close game, certainly. So we only saw one emerge guy. I imagine he has more, but Id of the Horde Swarm's not terribly scary. It's pretty good against us. A lot of our creatures are rather small. So that is a problem. And also, I've mentioned this before in previous drafts, but removal like Choking Restraints and Sleep Paralysis get a whole lot worse if there's quite a bit of emerge in his deck. Could do the Convolute, which actually seems really good against emerge, right? Because they have to sack. They do get cast effects, which I guess does make Convolute worse, doesn't it? I mean, it might still be worth it, but I don't know what I would take out for it. Like, I like everything we have. I mean, Unsubstantiate actually is probably better than Convolute against Emerge, right? They get the cast effect, but they end up sacking a creature. I mean, if you return it to their hand, they get the cast effect again, but they have to, I don't know. Like, him sacrificing something and tapping out to get 2/1/1s doesn't seem amazing for him. I think we'll keep it the same. Like I said, we really don't have too much of a sideboard plan. All right, we've got to keep here. Opponent is mulliganing. All right, well, I mean, we've got a game plan. All right, go with the priest. Hero priest. Mournwillow. Oh, I'll double block a Mournwillow. We end up losing a priest for a Mournwillow? That seems like a fair exchange. Ooh, Inquisitor. Well, we're drawing relatively well here. I mean, haven't had to crack our clue yet. Plus, we're going to get to have a Spectral Reserves next turn, which is nice. Ah, Sinister Concoction. Haven't seen you in a while. You're only in one pack nowadays. All right. Livia's Dragoon might be a bit of a problem. It can block our Spectral Reserves, but it comes at the cost of a discard, so I don't know how easily he's going to be able to do that. I guess we can... Well, if I swing with the Inquisitor, you can crack back with both, so I think we just play the reserves and pass. Next turn, we get our Paladin on, which is nice. I'd probably just make him discard cards to kill our spirits. I guess that seems reasonable. He also has to discard a card to Concoction. So making him discard cards seems good. Ooh, Guardian. Yeah, I think we're just going to swing with the spirits. He can start discarding cards. I'm okay with that. I can also swing with the Inquisitor here because I'm going to play the Paladin. That makes sense. Although if I play the Paladin, he can use the Concoction, I guess, so maybe I don't. So yes, he can discard a card to Dragoon. I guess if he has the twins, that's a big problem, but I'm not going to play around that. He could also have the 3/3, the weirded vampire. Oh. Alright. Well, I'm okay with this. Alright, well, I can play the Paladin, but he gets to basically kill it with Concoction, so I think we actually just jam the clue now. Alright, still missing blue mana. Alright, passing. I was thinking I was going to play the Faithbearer Paladin, but I guess I'd rather him use his Concoction somewhere else. Ghoul Caller's Accomplice is actually a nice emerge target. Still no play. All right. Well, so I can play Guardian. I think we just save our removal for now. All right. No need to use the choking restraints on an accomplice, especially given that we know he's got It of the Horrid Swarm, which seems like a much better target for it anyway. I don't think we have any Delirium in our deck, do we? I believe we do not. Which is interesting. We can afford to take 2 here, although I assume that means he's going to try and emerge. Which maybe means I want to block. It just feels like that attack doesn't make sense unless he wants to emerge. Although he could have the clear shot again. Could also double block. Well, if I double block, the clear shot still gets us. Although, then he can't kill our spirit. Alright, I guess we'll just take 2. Primal. Alright. Let's bash a Reno here. Get in that Drown Yard. So I could have taken the Inspiring Captain instead of the Drown Yard. Would that have been better there? He would have taken 2 extra damage, and he would have lost his Primal Druid, so I guess the answer is yes. I guess we can just swing with everything here. Still just have 0 need to use our removal spells. I guess he can eat our Inspector now. Well, that's alright. Looks like he wasn't even interested in eating our Inspector. Okay, looks like he did have the clear shot. Once again, though, I don't really mind him using a clear shot. Like, I don't really care about that. I guess at this point I make him use the concoction. Not thrilled about it, but it seems like it's about that time. Wow. Losing a concoction off the top of his deck, discarding a land. Well, I guess I don't mind that. Those concoctions aren't getting worse. It's a surprising attack. You must have a follow-up play of some sort. No? All right. Well, why don't we restraints now and exile. Get him for 3. Sure. Okay. I mean, I could have exiled this instead. Don't really feel the need, though. Okay. Sure. Guess we'll sandbag a land. I forget if there are cards that want us to do that, motivate us to do that. I can't recall. Ooh, well, hello, sleep paralysis. How are you, my friend? Pretty good. How about yourself? Pretty good. Thank you for asking. So how much can I deal to my opponent? I can deal... If I use Borrowed Grace now, I can get in for 6. Just a damage shy, but this seems like the right opportunity to use it. He's tapped out. Oh wait, it's 7. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? I can maths. I can maths so good. Yeah, Borrowed Grace, as per usual, playing amazingly well. Who would have thunk it, especially considering Ethereal Guidance was probably one of the worst cards in Shadows over Innistrad, and Borrowed Grace has rapidly become one of the best white commons. So it's amazing how different instant speed with an Escalate clause is, right? Now, not really. It makes a lot of sense why this card is just absurdly, like, so much better than Ethereal Guidance. Instant speed means the world. All right, we'll see you in the finals. I'm amazed how well we're doing with this deck.